Details on a story you saw exclusively first on 10. A suspect bonding at a jail this morning after police say he held a Starbucks barista at gunpoint over, of all things, a side of cream cheese. Well,
make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I've been telling you this for the longest time, and I wasn't even going by viral videos and news reports. I was going by my own personal experience and my homies' experience. The criminal justice system is not racist at all. If you count for the fact that the majority of suspects of the Sun have lengthy criminal records, or priors as they would call them. That's the legal term, priors. That's the jargon they use legally. There's no difference in sentencing when it comes to the different groups. Because a judge is going to sentence you more harshly if you have priors. If you got an armed robbery and a aggravated assault and a flee and arrest, or, a bunch of disorderly conducts on your record, and you get in a fight and the guy falls and bumps his head and ends up dying, you're going to get charged differently than the guy who has nothing on his record. Or maybe a DUI or something like that. Or some domestic violence situation on his record, but that's about it. And then him and his friend get in a fight, and his friend bumps his head and ends up dying in hospital. Both could be manslaughter, but they're seen differently through a different lens because one has priors and one doesn't. Why did I tell you that? Well, because the criminal justice system is not racist at all. At all. And I've been saying this for years. That's the only way you can find racism, is to omit that fact of what I just told you. And then you'll see, different groups have different harsher sentences. But once you throw that factor in, the sentencing is exactly the same. Once you adjust for those factors. This brother getting out for this, for what they said he did, does not surprise me at all. And most of you guys who subscribe to this channel, it doesn't surprise you. This is America. This is how it works. All across the board. And they're still complaining.
And a suspect bonding at a jail this morning after police say he held a Starbucks barista at gunpoint over, of all things, a side of cream cheese.
Well, that Starbucks employee happens to be the daughter of Miami Gardens top cop. Local 10's Parker Branson joins us live from West Miami-Dade with what he had to say. Parker.
Alex, good morning. Omar Wright walking out of jail this morning, confidently telling me that he is not guilty. Can we talk to you, Omar? Could we talk to you about your charges? 38-year-old Omar Wright walking out of jail Saturday morning. They said that you waved a gun in the air.
Hey, let me tell you something. Stop doing that. Stop telling lies, bro. Stop telling lies, bro. You heard what I just told you, right?
Yeah.
Always go to Dunkin' Donuts, never Starbucks, okay?
Oh my God. Listen, man. The brothers say he innocent. He say he ain't do it. I'm sure they have video cameras in there, so we'll be able to determine whether that's true or not. Now, this cameraman and this reporter, they don't know what's going to happen here. They shook because they're like, dang, the brother, he's already out. If he did what he what they say he did, and he's already out. And now the brother is very confident, which some people could construe as aggression, being aggressive. Not aggression, but just being aggressive. And being, in your face. But there's no reason for this brother to not be, to have humility or be humble. Why should he? Why should he? Do you see what they're teaching in the schools? I got a video I'm going to drop for y'all soon. Oh my God. What they're teaching in the schools? In kindergarten, in the first grade? Wait till the next group. Wait till the Omar Wrights of 20 years from now are grown up. The ones that are 6 and 7 years old in first grade and whatnot. Wait till they're grown up. You ain't seen nothing yet, Jack.
Charges 38-year-old Omar Wright walking out of jail Saturday morning. They said that you waved a gun in the air.
Let me tell you something. Stop doing that. Stop telling lies, bro. Stop telling lies, bro. You heard what I just told you, right?
Yeah.
Always go to Dunkin' Donuts, never Starbucks, okay? Thank you,
We just wanted to ask you, though, they said you threatened over cream cheese. Is that true? Wright is accused of waving a gun at a Starbucks barista in the drive-thru of the 27th Avenue store location in Miami Gardens. Police say he was upset over cream cheese. He was in court on Friday.
He didn't point the gun at the victim. He pointed it up in the air while he's demanding his cream cheese.
Is this the only judge they got in Miami? Jesus Christ. This is the judge from all the viral videos. The one where one of the guys she went to elementary school with. This is like the only judge down there in Miami. But on a side note, I will say this. I hate when I get, like a lot of times I buy food when I'm making my videos in the car. So I may eat before I make my video. And I order my food and then I get to my parking space where I'm gonna make my videos at and I'm eat my food and there's no ketchup in the bag. And there's no hot sauce in the bag. And I gotta eat this dry food with no ketchup and no hot sauce because I love ketchup. I smother everything in ketchup and hot sauce. So it's like, wow. I mean, I'd be ready to literally go off. And then when you asking for ketchup, the times you remember, because nowadays you have to ask for that stuff, and they act like they got an attitude. So I'm not going to completely go. I disagree with what he did, but I will not sit here and act like people who work in fast food are not cannot be rude, and they go through a lot through the course of the day. You don't know how the customers before them acted. You don't know what they're going through in their personal life. So, and it's I've worked in fast food. I worked at KFC. I mean, I've worked every job at that KFC. So, I mean, I know how it is at fast food. It's high pace, low paying job. And people get upset when you don't have their stuff right. And you're going to have interactions throughout the course of the week that are going to be, make you have attitude. And people going to have attitudes and they're going to put it on you. Whatever. I get it. But I understand what this brother, I can understand the frustration. Because people say it's over cream cheese. He pulled a gun over cream cheese. It's the frustration. It's the attitude. It's the fact that I'm spending my money and you got an attitude because I'm asking for something that I already paid for. Or I'm asking for something, a courtesy that y'all give to customers. And you acting like you going above and beyond your job. So I understand the frustration at fast food joints. Nobody eats more fast food than me. Taco Bell, KFC, Wendy's. I can understand the frustration. So I want to give this brother a break right there.
Police say he was upset over cream cheese. He was in court on Friday.
He didn't point the gun at the victim. He pointed it up in the air while he's demanding his cream cheese.
The police report says Wright threatened the victim, saying, quote, "I hate expletives like you, and you don't know who you're effing with. I'm from Carroll City." The barista happens to be the daughter of the Miami Gardens police chief.
Of course she was upset. Of course she was crying. And so I had to go into mom mode.
Who's surprised that the police chief of Miami Gardens is a sister? Who's shocked by that? Like, this story is basically has every... This is basically... I might just put this story on my... This might be the lead story on my channel. When you come to my channel, this might be the story that pops up. I might have to switch it. Wow. Delma Noel Pratt, head sister in charge.
The barista happens to be the daughter of the Miami Gardens police chief.
Of course she was upset. Of course she was crying. And so I had to go into mom mode. It wasn't about law enforcement anymore. It was about being a mother.
Another Starbucks worker wrote down Wright's license plate, and a camera linked to the city's real-time crime center tracked down the car. The arrest made Thursday. Chief Delma Noel Pratt says this case proves how anyone can be affected by gun violence.
Things can happen, even to me.
Local 10 stopped by Wright's home. His parents are upset with the charges against their son.
Very kind and helpful, very responsible.
Okay.
Well, whatever he did was real stupid and embarrassing.
Did you hear that? The mother said, he's very kind and helpful. He's a good boy. The father said, whatever you did was stupid and embarrassing. That's why you need two parents in the home. I'm not a big proponent of bashing moms who actually are there and doing the job. I always compare it to when I worked security. People would always call out. So you would have to cover their zone. They had the mall cut into different zones. You'd have zone A, this person has zone B, zone C. So when someone would call out, you might have to do zone A and B, cover that zone as the security guard. And it would be like you getting a hard time from somebody while you're covering somebody else's zone in their shift. So I'd never want to be the type, especially I was raised by a single mother. Like, my mom was a single mom. Like, my father wasn't, like, in my life. Like, I didn't meet my father till I was 15. And then I saw him again when I was 27. So I'm not trying to act like, beat up on single mothers. My thing is, it's still... you could still say that it's better because my stepfather was much like this guy. The dude my mom married when I was a teenager was much like this guy. He would have said the exact same thing as the father, instead of trying to say how good of a boy I was and how sweet and innocent I was and how I didn't do nothing. He'd have told me what I did was dumb. And he's ashamed of me. Instead of trying to pat me on the back and tell me it's going to be all right, sugar. Like moms do. That's why you have the balance. Both are necessary. The son needs the mom to tell him everything's going to be all right. He needs the dad to put a foot in his ass.
Very kind and helpful, very responsible.
Okay.
Well, whatever he did was real stupid and embarrassing.
And Omar Wright's message was to wait for all of the facts to come out in the case. He says that will prove his innocence. Now, to stay updated on this case and to rewatch that interview with Omar Wright, I've got it posted on my social media pages. You can follow me at Parker WPLG on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're live in West Miami-Dade. I'm Parker Branton, Local 10 News.
A murder suspect on the run tonight.
January 11th, 2018, in the course of a robbery at the University Green Apartments in Ypsilanti, Marissa Edmonds and her boyfriend were shot at point-blank range. He survived. She died almost instantly. Well, since then, her family has gone through endless heartache trying to get justice.
Jason Colthorpe here to explain how the man who was once under arrest and denied bond is on the run tonight. Jason.
Yeah, Kim, forget for a moment that this family has been waiting years for just a trial to begin. They had to see this suspect, who had an extensive prior criminal record, first be set free, and now tonight is on the run in violation of those bond details, and now they're worried they may never get justice.
And when I laugh, I want you guys to know that I'm not laughing that this girl passed away. It's just, and I'm not laughing at the parents' pain and trauma. But I'm laughing at, sometimes I think that people who are not a part of this channel, they don't listen to what's actually being said about this so-called racist country, this racist criminal justice system, this criminal justice system where it just takes black kids and throws them away, and soon as they become 13, it swallows them up and chews them up and digests them whole in the gut of the belly of the beast. And nothing could be further from the truth. It's actually the opposite, which makes you see how some people make up 60% of the prison population, yet being only 13% of the entire population, how that is true with how lenient the system is. Just shows you, wow. Just listen closely.
Yeah, Kim, forget for a moment that this family has been waiting years for just a trial to begin. They had to see this suspect, who had an extensive prior criminal record, first be set free, and now tonight is on the run in violation of those bond details, and now they're worried they may never get justice.
His whole life he's been a criminal, a violent criminal.
Orlando Whitfield had only been out of jail for 60 days when 25-year-old Marissa Edmonds was murdered. He was caught 10 days later, and he's now been charged with killing her for 3.5 years.
It gave us somewhat comfort knowing that he was behind bars. Even though it doesn't bring my sister back, it gave us some comfort that we knew where he was.
Amanda Edmonds and her family have endured several continuances for various reasons, including COVID. Citing his length of time behind bars while maintaining his innocence, Judge Carol Kuhnke released him on house arrest with a tether a year ago.
What about my family? We didn't ask for my sister to be shot in the face. We didn't ask for any of this. But yet he chose to do it, and we're the ones suffering where he gets to live this life.
Then yesterday, a detective alerted the family Whitfield had done what they expected all along. He cut off his tether and was nowhere to be found. Amanda's family is afraid, but she's angry.
Beyond angry. It's ridiculous that she allowed him out to begin with. He's on trial for murder of a 25-year-old woman. What in your right mind would make you think he would get out and do the right thing?
It's not about what the judge, I got to give this judge a break. Liberals clamored for criminal justice reform. They clamored. I mean, you guys would, I mean, if you follow this channel, you've been there the whole time. Kim Kardashian, even though most of the cases Kim comes up with, it's like, damn, the guy, like, if you read the details, it's like, damn, the guy did this shit, Kim. Kim, you don't really see that this guy did that? But she'll say some black guy who's been in jail for 30 years is innocent, and we need to free him on this technicality that we found, or we found this sentence. The jury was all white. As if that has a, like, he killed the people. So what if the jury's all white? But like, or some technical, the judge, they found out that the judge did blackface in his high school yearbook. And here's the picture right here, the judge doing blackface in 1972. So we're re-examining all his cases. Now we gotta let this guy out of jail because he, okay, you have those cases, fine. However, the clamoring, the relentlessness, the getting rid of judges who follow the law and bringing in judges who will give lenient sentences, bring in district attorneys, which is the real big thing, the district attorney, because they don't even have to prosecute the case if they don't want to. It don't even get to a judge if the district attorney is liberal. They won't even prosecute a lot of these guys. Give the judge a chance. So you have super liberal district attorneys, super liberal judges, super liberal public constantly clamoring. And that's who this woman's family should be upset at. And maybe they're not upset at that because they don't understand that it's them who's doing it. Maybe they're part of the people that clamor for criminal justice reform. There's nothing wrong with the criminal justice system. The only thing wrong with the criminal justice system is the prison population is skewed and they gotta unskew it. If you just said, well, look, man, these people commit most of the crime for whatever reason, it wouldn't be no problem with it. But they have a problem with this, the disparity in the population and disparity in the people who on ankle braces, disparity of the people on probation, disparity of the people on parole, disparity of the people behind bars. They have a problem with that. And as long as you have a problem with that, fine. But don't complain when one of these brothers who's been home for 60 days shoots one of your family members in the face, gets caught. 3 years later, there's no trial. He gets released. And then first thing he does is cut off his ankle monitor and flee into the night. Don't be upset when that happens. And if you're going to be upset, direct it at the right place.
What about my family? We didn't ask for my sister to be shot in the face. We didn't ask for any of this. But yet he chose to do it, and we're the ones suffering while he gets to live this life.
Then yesterday, a detective alerted the family Whitfield had done what they expected all along. He cut off his tether and was nowhere to be found. Amanda's family is afraid, but she's angry.
Beyond angry. It's ridiculous that she allowed him out to begin with. He's on trial for murder of a 25-year-old woman. What in your right mind would make you think he would get out and do the right thing?
Now, it's believed Sheffield first left town, then cut off the tether. Police obviously don't want to speculate on where they think he is. They're trying to get him back into custody, but they're asking anyone who might know where he is or if they see him to call 911.
In cases like this, I get really frustrated when they call on us, the public. This is when it gets frustrating for me. What do you mean if we see this guy, we should call you guys? You had him. You let him go. If you get him back into custody, it's still the same system. The only thing different will be he's in custody. He still may get out again. Think about this family. If someone in this family was a witness, a star witness to the crime, and this guy's just in the wind, and they don't know where he's at. Yet you're asking the public. It would be one thing if this guy had never been in custody and it was just like, yo, we got to get this. You had him. And then you had him on ankle monitoring. You had him multiple different ways. I mean, like, why is it our responsibility in this case? Not in every case, but in this case. Why is it our responsibility?
Now, it's believed Sheffield first left town, then cut off the tether. Police obviously don't want to speculate on where they think he is. They're trying to get him back into custody, but they're asking anyone who might know where he is or if they see him to call 911. Devin.
And what does the judge have to say about this, Jason, if anything?
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, so a year ago, it was last May, this got media attention when the judge was considering and then ultimately did release him.
Right.
We put in a call to the judge's office then. We got an email response saying the judge does not discuss open cases. We again reached out today and her office told us the exact same thing.
Same thing.